Hey fam. Excuse me, I just wanted to take a moment to say how amazing God is. How amazing God is. Today is technically it's after midnight, so it's October 27th, October 7th, 2022. Man. We just had the Hurricane Ian last Wednesday, the 28th. Our power came back on the day before yesterday, so we were out for 6 days. With electricity, we had a whole bunch of food stocked up. Excuse me. We had a whole bunch of food stocked up in the deep freezer and everything like that. And I went over to my dad's to go give them an assessment because they bugged out. They went across the state because they live in a manufactured house, and I went over there to document to see what the damage was over there because their property wasn't really telling them what had happened. And they were, if they were in that house, they would have been scared to death, I'm sure. They lost their entire carport, their gutters. There were pieces of their roof and the whatever the metal stuff is called, I don't know, I'm sorry. It was hanging in the tree that's in their backyard. That's how messed up it was. They have no fence in the backyard anymore. But you know what is amazing is that they have power. They live less than 5 miles away from where we do. They had power. It just flickered on and off during the storm. Like I said, we were without power for 6 days. And so, they were like, yeah, don't stay as long as you want at the house, and take all your frozen stuff, all your refrigerated stuff, and bring it over to our fridge and freezer and keep it there. So I did, because this hundreds of dollars worth of food, it would have been thrown away. But thankfully, I had a safe place to put it, and they were willing to help. Thank you. And then, power came back on here. But whenever I retrieved the food from their house and picked up my son, who didn't want to spend any time at all in not having electricity, he stayed with them and he stayed with my mom. And whenever I picked him up from my dad's house, I also picked up all of our food that I had taken over there, and I brought it home, and there was stuff in the bottom of the deep freezer because I had left a whole turkey in there, because I thought, well, it's gonna take a while for it to thaw out and everything like that. But there was a smell and it was disgusting and it was gross, and I had to clean all that out. So then I'm like, well, what do I do with all this food while the deep freezer is being cleaned? So I took it over to the company that I work for. The store that I used to work at is right across the street, and so I took it over there, and thankfully the good people who work there were able to take my frozen things out of the freezer and bring them back to me whenever I had already cleaned out the freezer and it was good to go again whenever they closed that night. Yeah, that was the night before last. And I got a blessing. Several, I'm telling you, just several blessings. It's amazing. This is just amazing. This is so long. I'm at 5 minutes already. Like, this is just amazing. The blessings that have happened since all this happened. First blessing, obviously, is that we endured a hurricane and we're all still here. And we're fine. The house is fine. And those other blessings that I talked about, where my dad and my mom were willing to help, and then I had to miss out on 2 days worth of work because of the hurricane. And I could have made those days up on my days off that were scheduled on Saturday and Sunday. And I told my boss, I said, please, I still have a whole bunch of stuff to do. Like, please don't call me. Please just let me have my time so that way I can get everything done that I need to get done. And I still didn't get quite everything done, but I did get a whole lot done. I did get a whole lot done. Borrowed my dad's rake, and I raked up stuff and everything. My boss gave me a shovel. It was good. Even though I didn't dig any holes, it gave my son joy to be able to play with something. It was like, man, tools, whatever. Anyway, so like I said, I missed out on 2 days worth of work, and my boss was kind enough to not bother me those extra 2 days that I had off. You know what I'm saying? Like, there were the 2 days off for the hurricane, and then so the hurricane was like Wednesday and Thursday. My normal days off are Saturday and Sunday. I said, please don't bother me during those days. I still have a whole bunch of stuff to do. Because even though you have power, I don't have power. And I have damage. You don't have damage, I have damage that I have to clean up. And I'm the only able-bodied person in my house to be able to do said things. So, please don't bother me. I have a lot to do. My home comes first, my family comes first. And he didn't bother me, so that was great. I'm glad that he didn't need to bother me. That they had it handled, that everybody did what they needed to do. But I was kind of worried, because I haven't received that paycheck yet, because that'll come next week. But it's going to be missing 2 days worth of work. And it doesn't really sound like a whole lot, but it is a lot. And I wasn't really sure. I just said, like, whatever, God. God hears me, God sees me, God spoke through me and said, like, no, you're not going to work those days. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. And I listened to God and I obeyed God. I got sent more than twice what I would have been paid on those 2 days from other family members. More than twice what I would have made if I would have worked for those 2 days. Two-thirds of it 2 days ago, and the other third of it just now. Not to mention the endless support that I've had for taking care of my son, for people saying, what do you need? What do you need? How can I help you? What do you need? Do you need me to get anything from the store for you? Yes, actually, can you please bring me ice? Can you, that's basically it. Can you bring me ice? I am just amazed. and astounded by God's wonders. He kept us safe. He kept us safe first and foremost. I can't even speak. He sent out, he showed his wonders. He said, trust me. Just listen to me and trust me. And though I had people looking at me like, how can you miss work? How can you miss work? You have to pay bills. It all worked out. Bills are paid. This all worked out. And I have more right now than I would have if I had just gone to work and neglected the hours of work that I had to do at home and the time that I had to be spending talking with my family. God tells you what to do. God tells you what to do. Listen. Listen, always listen with your heart. Right here. Listen with your heart. Listen. And if you have any questions, fall upon your knees and pray. Open your mind, open your heart. He's right there. He has his hand out. How can I help you? What do you need? You have not because you ask not. Ask. You might be surprised. I was.